Also want to show a live shot right now of Times Square if we can. Of course, this has heightened people's sense of alarm here when we got word of 3 individuals who are plotting an attack on Times Square, beginning with trains that frequented the area. And the goal was, among one of the participants, to take out as many people as possible. The former FBI Special Agent David Shepard on that. David, when you look at that and you see what the security that you have had to deal with and elsewhere, what do you make of the precautions they're taking now? A lot of people get nervous, but there's a reason for that, right?
Well, you're looking at not letting somebody change your life on what you want to do. The security precautions they've taken and putting in now, some of them have been doing for quite some time. The real difference is on a hard target and a soft target is accessibility. We can take and block buildings, we can keep people out. Under this open air environment, it's a little bit harder. So the biggest thing we can try to do is response. Have a counter teams to go ahead back in to stop as fast as possible the event. Keep people looking around. Work with the shop owners like we heard right now. Have people train. Whether you see something, say something, hear something, read something, let people know. A lot of these people turn around and say something ahead of time. 81% of the active shooters tell people ahead of time they're going to do it. You know,
you handle security at the Venetian Resort, and so it is from that vantage point, if you don't mind my sharing something that casino mogul Steve Wynn had shared with our Chris Wallace about security at his own resort. Steve Wynn.
We profile or inspect or examine everybody that enters the building. And under most circumstances, it's unnecessary to wand people or to do any kind of invasive procedure. The things we're looking for that represent potential threats are much more obvious and allow us a great deal of freedom in allowing us to not interfere with the normal flow of people in and out of the building, which is close to 15 or 20,000 people a day.
How do you do that, though, David? I mean, on a practical basis, and maybe that was upped a little bit more post, obviously, the Las Vegas shooting last week. But to sustain that, can resorts do that? Can your old place, the Venetian, any of these casinos, any hotels, for example, anywhere in the country, do that sort of thing where they're wanding luggage, where they're scrutinizing the people who are checking into the hotel? What do you do?
Well, right now, some of them are starting to do that. Has that been done throughout the United States? No. We really don't routinely check bags.
Yeah.
Is it starting to change? People are starting to look at it more. Again, hard target, soft target is accessibility. We want to look at somebody. We want to try to protect all the people inside the building there. And we have to look at it regardless if it's going to be a potential robbery or a potential attack on somebody else. We look at that. Now, how do you end up looking at that? Part of it is interacting with the person to start with. You interact and talk to them. You look at body motions. You look at facial expressions. You look at some of that to start with. There's a lot of people that's in there. How often are you going to do it? Well, anytime you come in, you're going to do it. And what you're looking at is called displaced criminality. I can't always stop somebody from doing an act, but it won't be done there. And they go someplace else. And then we keep working and working and working to make sure everybody's doing the same thing. The more we can end up helping protect the guests, the better off we are as a community and society. And that's what we keep looking at. Keep looking, keep changing, keep modifying.
Yeah. But, David, how do you do that when some candidates, like even the case of Paddock, the man behind the attacks in Vegas last week, if he doesn't fit a profile or a certain image of an attacker or someone who would pull this off. Now, we might be able to put things together that show a social media profile of the like that said this guy's dangerous. Nothing we've seen thus far has indicated that. So how do you handle that?
Well, you're looking at him. There's 56 different reasons a person is an active shooter, as an example. And some of them he has, but it doesn't get back to the actual motive and reason why he did it. And different person he is. He's a lone person. He is pretty much by himself most of the time. He doesn't interact with people, but not everybody does that. When you look at criminal activity, you look all the way from a saboteur to even a spy. A spy is not going to turn around and do the same thing as a person's going to be a suicide bomber or somebody else is going to be a robber.
But how would you notice that, David? I mean, you're pretty astute at this stuff. I'm not. But if you're looking at someone or trying to see whether that could be, there's something off or different about this particular person, how do you know that?
Part of it gets back to looking at your own instinct. If you feel something is not right, then you should report it. If you hear something that seems to be a little out of whack, you need to report it. And that's part of what we do it together. Just tell your local person there within the security of that particular facility, I'm not comfortable with this person. If somebody makes a hair stand up in the back of your head, doesn't seem right. Just report it.
Understood. David Shepard, thank you very, very much.